I would like to give a special nail addict shout out to April Shorty, Exotica's Empire, Alicia Glam Nails, and Kay Wilderness for being the first four to comment on my last video. I thank you ladies oh so much.
Am I really that much to handle? Breaking these niggas down like a camel. You don't really know you.
Hey y'all, welcome back and welcome if you're new. My name is Sheena, and if you haven't already, please hit the like and subscribe button, and let's go ahead and get into today's set. So for today's set, I am doing the lazy girl method, and I'm using my XXL Square 1, 2, 3 Go tips from Nail Couture. These are some of my absolute favorite square tips. Today we're encapsulating glitter with the lazy girl method, and those come from Nail Couture. And then I have these really cool, cute butterflies that came out of Femi Beauty's Polygel kit with Macarp. So I'm going in and starting with prep, and I'm just going to take my cuticle pusher and lightly push back my cuticles. After pushing back my cuticles, I'm going to go in with a ball bit around the cuticle area just to remove any dead skin that may be there around that cuticle area. I'm next going to go in and use my mandrel with a fine grit sanding band. This sanding band grit is 180, and I'm going to go up a little bit more around that cuticle and also rough up the surface of my natural nail. Roughing up the surface of your natural nail, it does help for better adherence. It gives the product something to grip onto. And then I'm going in with my Model 1's dehydrator and a coat of my Model 1's primer. You can use a dehydrator and primer of your choice. Another great dehydrator is also alcohol. That does also dehydrate the nail, which kind of pulls all of the oils out of your nail, because that will also help with being able to adhere the products. I typically would go in with 2 coats of the primer if I were actually trying to keep these on for long term, but the 1 coat works just as well. So jumping right into the set, I am going in with some base gel into the nail tip. So I'm going to place a nice layer of the base gel into this nail tip, and I am going to leave it wet to apply the glitters. I love Lazy Girl. I feel like it's a very beginner friendly, easy way to get salon quality nails at home, and anybody can do it. So this is one of those typical methods that I do like to use because, again, it's very easy and it always looks very nice and uniformed. And then you are using a full cover tip that already has a shape, so there's not much shaping to do. It's just a really nice beginner friendly set. So I'm going in and I'm pulling out the butterflies I would like, and I kind of give them a bit of a bend so that they do sit into the base gel how I want. I do make sure to turn it over and kind of just check it out and make sure it's sitting how I want it to sit. And I'm going in the color that you see the glitter. So the first one, I'm using these orange butterflies, and then I'm going to leave it wet, and I'm going to just sprinkle some of those orange glitters into the empty spaces. So I did want it to be, encapsulated with glitter, but I didn't want it to be opaquely glittered up. I don't know if that's even a word, but I'm just going to put some of the orange glitters in between like you see here. add on a few of the gold ones as well. And I still wanted a very transparent look in the background. That was what I wanted for this particular set, but you could actually fill it all the way up if you wanted it to. So I wanted it kind of filled, but again, I wanted some transparency, and I wanted to make sure all of my butterflies were able to be seen as well. And I'm basically just repeating this over all of my nails with the different colors. I felt like I wanted a color wave with this one, a spring color wave going on with this. I'm about to probably jump into summer sets now because I'm ready. Spring is cool, and I think it is one more spring set I kind of want to do. I just can't find my flowers. I've been looking for my like real flowers to encapsulate. I think those are really pretty sets, and I do want to look for them, but I cannot find them anywhere. I have so many products. I really need to reorganize everything and get everything together so that I can better see what I have. But once I find them, I definitely do know that is going to be something that I am going to incorporate, is like a encapsulated flower design to end my spring nail sets with a bang. And it might get in between some of my summer ones because I'm ready to start with the more vibrant colors and shades for summer. So I did fast forward the video quite a bit because it's pretty repetitive. I'm just using different colors, but I'm going to set down all of my butterflies first and then go in with the corresponding color and just fill in around it with a few of the glitter pieces. And then I do place it off to the side on the nail stand. So once I get all of the glitters into the tips of these nails, I will then put the whole stand into the lamp secure for 30 seconds. So my girl Steph was telling me on a previous video that she's been having a hard time hearing me. So I want to know, what do you guys think? Do you guys think, because I know when I do my videos, I do have a softer voice. This is like my work phone etiquette voice that I use for my videos. And so it can be on the softer side. I try to talk as loud as I can, but obviously it's not working. And the last video I did actually, like, a lot of times I definitely want to listen to my video back the whole way through, because the times that I feel like I've done it and it's successful, it always ends up having something in the video where I should have listened to it, because it's like I forgot to take a background noise out here, or so I typically always try to listen fully to my videos before posting them. And I listened to that one and I thought I sounded fine, but comment down below and let me know if my music is a little loud and that you can't hear my voice, because I'll work on that. But typically I do try to speak as loud as I can so that you're able to hear me over my music. So once all the glitters are fully cured, I'm now going in with this clear Savillon Polygel. And with clear, I like to use base coat as my slip solution. So I'm placing some base coat on there. I'm going to take my Polygel brush and I'm going to pat that over the glitters. That's just to further encapsulate it, because like typically you really didn't even need to do that. Like if you're okay with a little texture under your nail and they're in that base gel enough to where it's cured. I've seen some people just go like that. I can't. I need a layer of something over it. So I'm going to just put a very thin layer of the clear over all of the glitters just to encapsulate that, and make sure that I don't feel anything underneath my nail. And then I'm going to give them all a 30-second cure once everything is coated with the clear polygel. So now I'm going to go in with a layer of base coat on my natural nails. So this is typically the next step I would do after when I'm ready to start to apply my Lazy Girl nails. I put on a layer of base coat and I'm going to cure this for 30 seconds. The base coat is to protect my natural nail, but also to give the polygel something to hold on to as well. The same step you would use if you were doing a polygel overlay. So I'm going in with, what is the name of this polygel? This is like one of my staples, one of my favorite. I'll give you the name in a minute. But I'm just going to put a little small amount towards the cuticle. I'm using 91% isopropyl alcohol as my slip solution today. And I did dip my polygel brush in it. And now I'm going in and just patting the polygel into place. When I am doing Lazy Girl and I'm going by the cuticle, I want to make sure that my cuticle is nice and thin so that it doesn't spill over much. And then I'm going to take and just blend that up into that first already cured clear bead to look like an ombre. It's going to look just like an ombre. And then I'm going to lightly place this on my nail. And I say lightly, you shouldn't have to apply too much pressure and it should fit your nail just fine. So when you're sizing your nails for the Lazy Girl method, you want to size down. So the lower the number, the bigger the nail. So if you're using a size 4, let's say on your index, you're going to want to go down to a size 3 because you're putting product into the nail. You want to make sure there's enough space so that the nail fits comfortably onto your natural nail, and it always works. So make sure that you're sizing down. And I'm just basically repeating this over all of my nails and very lightly placing that on. Then I'm going to flash cure them for about 10 seconds under my little flashy lamp. And then once they're all applied, I do go in with a full 30-second cure in my bigger lamp. So for my filing, when I'm doing the Lazy Girl, the only thing I do is take my mandrel with a fine grit sanding band, normally a 180 grit, and I'm just going to go around the cuticle to make that nice and flushed and to remove any spillage that may have cured there on the nail. And that's typically all I do. Just go around and it comes out pretty nice, pretty easy. I am using my newer e-file, so I'm loving this e-file. I don't have to have it at a high speed at all, and it does what it needs to do. I hope that everyone is having an amazing morning, afternoon, evening, or night, wherever you may be. And as always, thank you so much for taking the time to watch my videos. It's appreciated. If you're new to my channel, welcome to the Nail Addict family, and I thank you so much for joining me on my nail journey. And if you've been subscribed, new or old, I want to let you know that I love you oh so much, and I'm very thankful and grateful for you all. Then I'm going to take my Pana 8080 grit hand file, and I'm just going to file the tip on the sides a little bit just to crispen it up a bit. Again, typically you're using a nail tip that's already shape. So this is at your discretion. Sometimes I do this, sometimes I don't, just depending on the nail tip. For these, I did feel like I wanted to snatch them a little bit more, so I'm going in and just making it nice and crisp. And then I go in with my orange mini buffer over the nails just to further smooth out everything and just take out any lumps and bumps, which there shouldn't be because you're using the top of a nail and all of the products is under the nail, so it really shouldn't be. But I also do this to smooth it out just in case I wanted to do any type of nail art or add anything to it. There is a nice smooth layer. For my ring finger, I'm going in with my Cora Rhinestone glue, and I'm going to add a glob here, and I'm just going to add a butterfly and some, like, I don't know what you want to call these rhinestones. They look kind of like little small diamonds. They're in the shape of diamonds, but I'm just doing like a mini cluster of them there. So I'm going to place the butterfly, and then I'll just place them like right next to the butterfly and like a cluster. You can see it so much better in person. The camera obviously never does anything justice, but in person, this was a really cute, like, simple setting. Oh, and I also used this clear heart as well for this design, and I just felt like it looked really nice. It came out really cute. Again, everything is really crystal clear here on camera. The butterfly does have like an iridescent shift to it when I move my fingers, but again, in person, it looked absolutely just beautiful with this particular set. Once I got all of the rhinestones and everything set onto this nail, I did go ahead and give it a 30-second cure in my lamp. And then last but certainly not least, I'm using my Glam No Wipe top coat, and I am going to place a layer of that over all of the nails, bringing those glitters and everything to life. Then I'm going to give this a 30-second cure. Off camera, I do apply some cuticle oil, and I'll be back in just a moment with the final look. And here's the finished set. Super cute. When I wore these, because I did this set so long ago, when I tell you I couldn't stop looking at them, they were so gorgeous, so beautiful. But comment down below and let me know what you think of this really cute encapsulated glitter set. And if you've made it this far into the video, I definitely would love it if you would like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the post notification bell so you don't miss any of my future sets. I thank you all for joining me today, and I'll see you in my next one. Remember to be the very best you that you can be, and much love to you all.